Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Bình Phước radio television station and newspaper. And now our headline as usual. Phuoc Long town celebrates the 48th anniversary of liberation. Bình Phước promoting culinary tourism. People-to-people diplomacy solving socio-economic development. Water resources planning scheme for 2021-2030 announced. Ladies and gentlemen, Phuoc Long town in Bình Phước province is celebrating the 48th anniversary of its liberation, January the 6th, 1975, January the 6th, 2023.
Phuoc Long was the first locality in the south to be completely liberated. The victory contributed to strengthening the strategic determination of the party in the process of liberating the south and reunifying the fatherland in the spring of 1975. Looking back on the past 48 years, Phuoc Long has maintained political stability and developed its economy. Its economic restructuring has shifted towards increasing the proportion of industry and services and gradually reducing agriculture. Phuoc Long has also focused on building urban infrastructure, boosting urban improvements, enhancing environmental protection, promoting investment in production, and building infrastructure for tourism and services. It achieved and exceeded all economic, control, social, and environmental targets in its resolution during 2022. The locality's budget revenue reached 105.3% of the estimate assigned by the Provincial People's Committee. Phuoc Long also created 3,780 jobs. Its national defense and security and social order and safety were maintained, and the people's material, cultural, and spiritual lives were improved.
As part of a series of activities to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Phuoc Long's Liberation Day, the Bình Phước Department of Culture, Sport and Tourism held an event to promote the typical culture, tourism, and cuisines of locality in the southeast region.
The exhibition features 22 booths, including 10 booths of 6 cities and provinces in the southeast region and the provinces of Bình Thuận, Đắk Nông, Lâm Đồng, and Long An. The remaining 12 booths were from 11 districts, towns, and cities in Bình Phước province. The display and promotion of cultural tourism and cuisine marks the start of tourism activities in the southeast region and has become an annual regional event held in Bình Phước province with an increasingly larger scale. In 2021, only 6 localities in the southeast region participated in the event, while this year, more cities and provinces have been invited to participate. Besides admiring the highlights of each locality through tourism products, visitors also have the opportunity to visit and experience a culinary space created to stimulate tourism in the southeast region. The exhibition space provides useful information on the overall picture of tourism in the southeast region, which is characterized by cultural beauty, attractive tourist destinations, and typical dishes.
Leaders of Phú Riềng district in Bình Phước province have held a program to welcome in the Lunar New Year festival and meet with the businesses in locality.
Phú Riềng district achieved and exceeded all 20 targets set in its resolution in 2022. The total value of the agroforestry and fisheries sector stood at more than 3 trillion Vietnam dong, fulfilling 105.3% of the target set in the resolution and up 5.3% compared to 2021. Its total industrial value reached more than 5.2 trillion Vietnam dong, exceeding the plan for 2021. 184 out of 190 targets set in the New Style Rural Area Building Program were achieved, which is 4 more than in 2021. 9 of 39 public schools achieved the national standard at level 1. The district has recently launched a TED program for the poor, receiving support of more than 1.4 billion Vietnam dong.
Ladies and gentlemen, people-to-people diplomacy will focus on activity in service of national socio-economic development in 2023, according to the Vietnam Union's Offensive Organization.
The Vietnam Union of Friendship Organizations emphasized people-to-people diplomacy's mission and pioneer role in creating and maintaining a peaceful and stable environment, mobilizing external resources for national development, and raising the country's position and reputation in the international arena. Reviewing achievements in people-to-people diplomacy in 2022, it said the sector has fulfilled most of its major tasks, focusing on relations with neighboring countries, important partners and traditional friends. Multilaterally, Vietnam successfully hosted the 22nd Assembly of the World Peace Council for the first time, reflecting the country's active and responsible contributions to the Council and global peace movements at large. The Union directly joined and chaired many activities, both bilaterally and multilaterally, notably those within the framework of the Vietnam-Laos, Laos-Vietnam Solidarity and Friendship Year and the Vietnam-Cambodia Friendship Year, helping consolidate and enhance relations with the two neighbors. It stressed the need to closely combine people-to-people diplomacy with other pillars of external relations, party diplomacy and state diplomacy, and pay more attention to personnel training.
The Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment on January the 6th announced a master plan for water resources during 2021-2030 with a vision to 2050.
The National Water Planning Scheme, the first of its kind, offers a foundation for relevant quarters, both at central and local levels, to map out their own plans relating to water resources. This will create a premise for the economical, effective, and sustainable exploitation, use and protection of water resources. It touches upon issues regarding the management, regulation, distribution, exploitation, and use of water resources in agriculture, industry, fishery, irrigation, urban and rural water supply. By 2025, the planning scheme targets increasing the rate of daily clean water use to 95% to 100% for the urban population, and 65% for rural residents. As many as 90% of water exploitation activities will be put under control, while the rate of water loss in supply activities will be reduced to 10%. It also prioritizes settling drought and water shortages in the dry season across river basins and areas with difficult access to sources, particularly the south-central region, Central Highlands, Mekong River Delta, and remote and island areas.
Foreign direct investment inflow from China to Vietnam is expected to rise as China is to reopen its door and resume flight between the two countries, according to Agribank Security Company.
Agrisco attributed the expected rise to the low labor cost in Vietnam and the close geographical proximity between China and Vietnam. Although investment from China slowed down during the past 3 years due to border closure measures, many Chinese invested projects continued to be expanded in Vietnam. With the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, FDI enterprises in China have gradually moved their factories to Vietnam, such as Foxca, Pegatron, and Goertec, Agrisco said. But noted that if China opens up completely, the supply chain will be less disrupted and this will affect FDI registration in Vietnam in the near future. Vietnam imports more than 30% of input materials for production from China, mainly machinery and electronic components, textile and garment materials. During China's shutdown, many businesses faced difficulties due to a shortage of raw materials, sharp increase in input costs, and congestion of goods.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 5th Tourism Festival Ninh Kiều Lantern Nights kicked up in the Mekong Delta city of Cần Thơ after a 1-year hiatus due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The fest is one of the highlights in a chain of tourism activities to promote traditional cultural values of Cần Thơ city. The highlight of the 3-day event is a hot balloon festival, offering visitors a chance to enjoy the city from above. Other activities are arts performance, cultural and sports events, tourism promotion programs, and a photo exhibition spotlighting the vitality of Can Tho. Ninh Khai boasts great potential for trade and tourism development. The district's tourism sector has made great strides in 2022, welcoming 4.6 million visitors, accounting for nearly 90% of the total number of tourists to Can Tho, and raking in over $85 million in revenue.
And that's all for the news today. Thank you for watching BPTV News. Goodbye and see you next time.